Morning. And oh wow, that lighting's nice. Okay, well, I wanted to make this video for, I guess, my sister-in-law because I told her that I think she could be a model and I haven't done the correct steps into helping guide her into how to actually become a model. So this is what that video is gonna be. I am a model. I'm signed to the Option Agency as my MA. I'm signed to LA Models and I'm signed to New York Models, and hopefully it is going to only keep expanding from here. The modeling industry is a very fickle industry and it's ever changing. My cat, this is Chicken's chair, so I can't even be mad that he's scratching it. This is the chair he's supposed to be scratching. He's allowed to scratch this one. I'm using his chair. I'm sorry, Chicken. Do you want to get up here, Chicken? Come here. Come on, Chicken. Chicken just went through major surgery, so that's why Chicken has a cone. Hi, my puppy Ganoush. You want to be up here? This is my story. I got signed to my MA first. Your mother agency is usually going to be kind of like your main lifeline if I'm going to be serious. I can't have him up there. His cone keeps on getting in the way, but look at, he's so cute. Digress. So I got scouted by my MA. I was at a Dua Lipa concert and I met my agent, Matt. God, my babies. And I remember he looked at me and he goes, yes, this could work. And I was 19 years old and I was like, yeah. I was just ready to party pretty much that day. And I was. So I'm glad that I got his info. We started talking and it was great. At the beginning it was great, but it was so slow. The beginning is slow. I didn't book like the first 3 months that I was there. Like I did some digitals. So you go into your, before you probably get signed to an agency, you're probably going to take digitals at home because that's what I had to do. So you're going to need a white background and I want you to go on Pinterest and look up what digitals look like. You're going to take a front shot, you're going to take a 3/4 shot on both sides, you're going to take a side shot, both sides, and then a back shot. And then you're probably going to wear something really neutral, a white tank top, black jeans, black leggings, no makeup. The most makeup you should have on is maybe mascara. Yeah, Chicken. Sometimes I know people put concealer on, but you can just see like things crease. So you want to be like the most natural you can. So working on your natural beauty actually is very important. You could find a local photographer or somebody who has a nice camera to do those with better lighting. Like this lighting, you can see like this would be amazing lighting for digitals. This is such good natural lighting. But if I were to go over here in the corner of my room, not so good. So you're going to want to be in good lighting. You know when you take a good picture and you know when you don't take a good picture. And then I want you to go onto Pinterest and I want you to compare your digitals to these digitals. Also, a measuring tape. This is something that people might take a little bit too personal, and I hope that you don't. Because when I first got into modeling, when I first wanted to get into modeling when I was like 13, and I remember I was literally scrolling through the agency that I'm signed to right now, and I was saying like, oh, I'm not skinny enough. I was looking at their measurements, they didn't have a curve board yet. And so I was just like, okay. My hips were 44, my waist was 29, and my bust, I think my hips actually were 42 at the time, so I was skinnier. When I get to the agency, they tell me that I'm going to be a curve model. And I've never heard of a curve model before. Like, I don't know what plus size models are. And I was like, oh, so I'm technically in that category of plus size. And at first it did hurt my feelings. I was just like, but I'm athletic. I'm an athletic build. But I was like, no, you're a curve. Curve is its own specific thing. I'm pretty sure if your hips are, I don't know what it is, but I know it's about 40. Yeah. So if your hips are above a certain thing, then you're automatically a part of curve. This is where it gets tricky. I was booking at least once a month consistently because it went from 3 months nothing, finally got something. Couple months went by, finally got something. Couple months went by, finally got something. And then it was consistently month after month after month after month after month booking, and sometimes a couple times a month. And then this summer, when I moved from Lake Oswego back to Eugene, May, June, July, dry, nothing for 3 months. And in that process, I had a meeting with my agent in LA, and we decided to do an entire group Zoom. And so I felt very lucky that it wasn't just me who was experiencing this, but it was every girl in the Curve board. And pretty much since Ozempic dropped, Curve has been less desirable, and so they have been pretty much wanting more sample size, skinnier size models. And some girls were like, okay, well, what can we do to make ourselves more competitive? And my agent was like, if you think losing weight is going to make you more competitive, I'm sorry, baby, then you're approaching it the wrong way. Your body is your body. You are who you are. You're going to want to stay fit and stay healthy. Do those things that make you stay fit and stay healthy. But if you're changing your body for the industry, then you got to step away from the industry. That's not how it works. Everything's trending. There's going to be a time where my body is going to be popular again. And I'm not bugging. So don't fret in the middle of those times where it's low and it's, you know, it's inconsistent. That's how it's gonna be. So capitalize on the wins. Elena Cordone, I love this woman. What did she say? Don't pay too much attention to the losses and start celebrating your wins. Your life, it's like this contagious effect of winning. Once you're winning and you keep winning, and you kind of have that spirit of winning. And the same with losing. Like if you're kind of manifesting losing, you're kind of pushing it out there. So keep that winning spirit up. My connection to God really helps me in my frustrations, because it is an industry where they're telling you about your beauty and telling you about your body. So obviously the rejection isn't going to feel great. Like you're going to be put into maybe a couple rounds of interviews of things, and you really think that you might get something, and they go with somebody else, and your friend's shooting in it. And you just have to be grateful that somebody that you know and somebody that's deserving is on that platform and on that stage, because when it's your turn, it's going to feel amazing, and you're going to hope that people behind you are celebrating as well. And other than digitals, submitting into websites, I've never had to do this because once I signed with my mother agency, they pushed me to other people in LA and then other people in New York. There would be people that came into Portland. And so at this period of time, I was living 2 hours away from Portland. So anytime that an agent from a bigger agency would come, I'm going to give you a lowdown on a mother agency first. No matter what you shoot and what you book, when you sign to your mother agency, they become your representatives, and they're always going to get 10% no matter what. So I could book something in New York. My New York agent's going to get 10%, and then my mother agency in Portland is going to get 10%. I could book something in LA. My LA agency is going to get 10%, and then my mother agency in Portland is going to get 10%. It's just the way it goes. There's literal laws against it that agents can't take anything above 20%. MA, your mother agency, is also going to have a lot of say in the things you do. They're basically your official middleman, because you signed them away to be your middleman. So when I was going to meet when I got an offer to sign with New York Models, my mother agent was like, well, why don't you go meet with other agents in New York? I was like, okay, well, let's set up a trip. I got a casting for CoverGirl, so I flew out to New York for this casting, and I was so honored. I didn't end up booking it, but I was the only person in my agency in LA that got asked to come to New York. So I was just honored to be there. And I had a wonderful time, and I only met with one agent, and that was the agent that asked to meet with me. But it was my mother agency's responsibility to set up the rest of those appointments, but they never got around to it. So I felt very blessed that I got to meet with the agent that wanted to assign me, and I ended up signing to New York Models, and I love them. Also, test shoots. And test shoots, you're either working with a local photographer, your agent puts you on, hairstylists, but you do have to usually pay for test shoots unless it's a collaboration. The least amount of money that I've paid for a test shoot was probably $200, $250, somewhere around there. The most I've ever paid for a test shoot was probably like $1,400, $1,200. So those are going to be those New York high fashion test shoots. And then building your book, that's all it goes to. Test shoots build up your book. It makes you look more competitive. Test shoots are to show yourself as a model, if you haven't been quite literally working on the scene, but it makes you more competitive, and building your book is very, very important. So my recommendation is be friends with photographers, know how to do your hair, know how to do your makeup, so you can save a buck. Trust me, you're gonna save a buck. You're gonna be like bag lady Erykah Badu, no hard shell bag, carrying all these bags. Trust me, I feel you. I'm walking out of my car to go to set with hair, makeup, wardrobe, everything. So I'm carrying like 6-7 bags to get there, this giant ass suitcase to get there, just because I do my own hair, I do my own makeup, I do everything, because I'm not going to pay somebody $500 to do it when I can do it better. Thank you. I think building relationships with your agents is going to be very, very helpful. Attending they do like pool parties, Christmas parties, after parties, whatever. Those are going to be very helpful. Networking, being social, building your social media. Once I became a model and I actually started taking myself seriously, my Instagram was no longer my Instagram. I do share things about friends and family because I do think it's sort of important for people to understand and realize that I'm more than just a body, and that I do have a family and livelihood and things going on. But my social media is all for modeling in the industry, because when clients look at you, they're going to look at your book, and majority of the time they're also going to be looking at your social media. It just is what it is. So what did my mom call it? It's a crafted image. You're going to want to start crafting your image. This is also another thing. People might not reply to you and your online submissions. So be tenacious. Go after it. Be tenacious. Go submit a couple of times. There's nothing wrong with that. What's the worst thing that's going to happen to you? They're going to hunt you down and say no. They're going to hunt you down and be like, yeah, you're good. Otherwise, they're not going to talk to you. It doesn't matter. And just honestly, keep pursuing it. Keep hunting it down. Look at their Instagrams. Find an agency that you enjoy, that kind of fits you, and study them. Look into them. Look into their agents. Look into their models. Option is the biggest mother agency in Portland. They're great. I also think Q6 is pretty good, and Reaction has a great board for models. So they've been able to put people onto bigger agents too. So sometimes having a mother agency that's massive, you kind of just become a small fish in a big pond. So you might want to, go to a smaller mother agency. I know that there's some in Ashland, there's IMD or IMG, there's Reaction, there's Q6, and this is all in Oregon. So none of my transitions in that were smooth whatsoever. It was super awkward. And I realized this while editing, that this is it's just not smooth. So I want to come in and say, I tend to yap and I shoot off at the mouth. So I had to edit a lot out. And that's okay. But yeah, this is the outro, I guess. Bye.